Okay. So now we're going to look at the rules that relate to the significant figures in calculations. So let's look first at the additions, the rules that relate to additions and to subtraction and multiplication and division. So first, anytime you are adding and subtracting, in that time, your final answer will have the lowest decimal points. Okay, so the final answer will keep the or will have the lowest decimal points. So in other words, when you're adding and subtracting, or decimal places, rather decimal points or decimal places. So you are going to be looking at the decimal places. So let's look at one example here. You are given a problem which is adding. Okay, here. 2 so this is an example, 2.045. Okay, this is one number, and you're adding it to 34.1. Okay, and you add it. So what do you get on the calculators? You guys do the calculations. Tell me, what do you get here on the calculator? And tell the whole number. Everything.
36.145.
36.145.
Very good. So 36.145. And I mean, you can do manual math also, but this is what you get. Okay. Now, when the rules for the calculations regarding the significant figure in addition and subtractions, here we see how many decimal places do you see in the first one?
4.
No, decimal places. We are looking at, when you do addition and subtraction, then you look at the
2,
decimal
3,
places.
1, 2, 3.
Decimal places. Not the significant figures, and decimal places.
For the first one, you have 3. For the second number, you have 1.
Yeah, so three decimal places, not the significant figures. So 3 decimal places. Okay, so 3 decimal places here, and you have 1 decimal place here. Okay, so your final answer should have the lowest decimal place. Your final answer should have 1 decimal place. Now, what does that mean? That means you will be dropping off 4 and 5. So drop off 4 and 5, and you will have to have only 1 decimal place. So you are going to keep as is. Okay, so now your answer is, what is your answer?
36.1.
36.1. Okay, so this is your problems. You couldn't get the right answer because of this thing. Okay,
Question for you. If this answer would have been 36.155, the final answer would have been 36.2, correct?
36.2. Okay, no, if the question is asking you, okay, round, I mean, you can round up anyways. It can become 36.2 because it's 4. Remember? Okay, the rule.
Yeah, but for example, if the answer was 36.155, for future reference, we would have rounded that up, right? For 36.2 instead of 36.1?
Yeah, then you would round up.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so those round up is when you retain the retained digits, you add 1 to it when the dropped off digit, when a dropped off digit is 5 and more. Okay, so like you said, so if the answer was 36.55, then yeah, this becomes 36.6. Okay, that's fine, that's good. Okay, now let's look at the that was an addition and subtraction. Now let's look at the multiplication and division. What's the story behind that one? So here is the multiplication and division. Okay, in multiplication and division, in this case, we are going to count the we are going to count the significant figures. Okay, so here we count the significant. We call it sig figs, is like more like a short form of this. So what does this mean? This means that the final answer will contain the lowest significant figures. So here the final answer will have the lowest significant figures that were used in the computation. Okay, so now let's look at one example here. So one example is that you have, let us say, 2.8 multiplied by 67.40. Okay, and that is divided by 34.8. Okay, so now first look at all the significant figures. So we have here two significant figures, right? Two significant figures right here. And this one is four significant figures here. And then this one is three significant figures. But your final answer should only have two significant figures. Okay, only two significant figures. So let's do the math. So 28 times 67.40 divided by 34.8, and you get from the calculator, what do you get? 5 point, sorry, 5 point equal to 5.4229 88506. Okay, like this number you will see on the calculator, right? When you do the calculation. So you're going to now apply the rules regarding the significant figures, and we only need two significant figures. That means we need this number and we need this number, and the rest, all these numbers are going to be dropped off. Okay, drop off. And 4 is less than 5. Therefore, you leave the retained digit as it is. Okay, so leave as is, leave the number as it is. So 5.4 is going to be your answer. Okay, your final answer is 5.4. So final answer in the bathroom, yours. 5.4. Okay, clear? Any questions on this one? Okay, let's look at now the problems from the book.